we want to find out say a day nema committee no arrival at that decision and a lands ministry no so no their processes na omufem any reports are omode kwansana such decisions are taken because already yet say Ibrahim Mahama no omode amano kra dada no obeye news outlets ni bi kra publish say Ibrahim Mahama di amano and say government di amano wodo ehon di amano echi ne yet say Felix Ofosuku achisa de krata ba say oh ye be competitive na say akoye say nka ye so source na ye dey man directly no anye sa akoye te say ye friend nyumaku bi abeka ho mo mbeba no no so abepribi e dey nti man dane course all of these things no ye bedi mu nkomo ahemamo ka worry good morning
yeah bro opening gaze
bibi aboko de
adom mpabo ahoye pa
na 9 months so kosi
9 months bo adwuma ndra ahomache we had an operation on the Ancobra.
Me who video bi na me ra what then?
Yeah, operation na go be a pia den or 30,000 Ghana cedis. Until 9 months for na wonu njano. And AGN report to you as exhibits.
Mose de ya dance ya of course.
Yes, I see no. Anopa ya a Hunter West.
Okay.
A hon super true gidi ekoswa. Young publish a fresh operation.
Okay. Pushima me na me ma Jeff project my.
Namos is doing great.
Okay.
They are doing great.
But my young shots here from EMP, I know we'll come to Galamsey no kakra, but at the end a cool mangas because we learned the government came out say EMP and more engineers and planners, which is a company Ibrahim Mahama Edia for a year that mine now Mami Misa, what was the consideration for the initial release? Yes, Ibrahim Mahama's name has popped up. Say when ya contract now obey and son another letter from presidency say a competitive bidding. What happened? The communication.
Mami now I say
right.
You say uhunu dokuno biya mrebi etwam no ya bro. So before even becoming a spokesperson to the minister, I was also a political animal, a partisan person.
Okay.
I want to wholeheartedly accept in good faith criticism when you are using the bias. Say, yeah, man, for sometimes you casa ha and near bebre because probably obi commentary binti. Amande nkomoya etenti probably me commentary binti and the amande my etenti probably no big nsemo a all kanti aman nsem no kwa bebre onipa bebre adwem na akokwa abuata front mi ansa badwom nyina afri akokwa ntwa krum ha yentimi mfa yentuma mfra nyina afri MPP party emu nipa bi because tiwo one more about one team, but bo kuntumpa man, boss say the engineers and planners. They are members of parliament. Yes, a parliament is a house of records.
Right.
Now, record the no parliament, they say the Mahama engineers and planners. Because as far as large scale mining companies of concern, and leases of concern, the process doesn't stop with just cabinet. Nti ebe court tender and now minister be use section 4 in the discretion. Ufri who ebe call minerals commission amomaya agreement. The agreement now goes to cabinet for approval and then now comes to parliament for ratification. Now what team na say be dwom ho ye mfa bibia mai ha ye say ratify ma onyina so nka say dia ma obi wo di kan hwiri akwatifi akohunu zo no be gina na afo bi sa say dia na sie. It is a mekase Krum hampuntu akachiri do no afri MPP phone bi akokwa. You must understand it from that perspective. Yam priye honko guni pa hofi. Yam priye honko kandi enim. Yam priye honko je enim gwase. French ni be se wonu ye numero 1. But in Shrankan rade and ade action. Obia timi fa phone na wahunu de ekoso wiase ene ne mamu. Eno nti I am sure say Ghana phone nyina dodo no ahunu say nsema no mo kan nyina no huru adasem kakra aka me mam te se me mam ya bena do twumu a wono phone ikura no woni mu a nti obi a saa hwehwemu no be ne de no ti na no pa wa mama kwanya ama betena ha no. First of all, the current yes kwasi bro ni edin ndi dwabiem. I've heard the baseless allegation being made say ya Jeffrey bro ni nsem de mama mpaninu. Sabe obi ani ho to na kokko be de kwa. Kwasi bro ni a ene ne de ensashe ntiase apoma 30 years ago. Afe duru ba bi no na ne su ne ba nyina a kire se adwuma no won to aso bi. Akoko ese oba wari a obetena no otuba ntiase odua o. Because when himself dan be ba beto na wade ase. The life of every mind is dependent on how much exploration, further exploration you do. Enti die wo hunu no awutu na wo ye hwehwemu foforo ka ho. Goldfields was not doing any further exploration. The life of every man again in terms of processing is dependent on your continuous mining. For 2 years, when him said that Goldfields was not mining, they were only doing processing. The aboba no mo tu asum ho no ana mo feed plant no. But say ye
didn't na omonye.
That's say we dey obi ntina bofra nyame. Clearly kakra na egu ono me ya mo awie na mkom ba bi.
Okay.
There are evidence of letters one more trader comma subcontractor say on these days we will not be able to engage you again. January 2023, engineers and planners as a business person, who's a Goldfields person or corner, or try letter comma Minister of Lands at the time say, Goldfields or Quadi, I'm a person and could be anobabaye. Now walk one farm mine unjam and I'm actually. Minister, a share crater no share nipa will be sasa as a busano. Or see there be a share said ye when you hunu. Ene wa honfa mane sabe o capacity awo ye ni bibia ti a kona one go face nko ya no babaye. And then when I hear people say a favoritism ye selective engineers and plan and a tender committee selective engineers and planners, I ask myself, a brand na bujina portrait letter of no objection no. Na no so your favoritism ana. My favoritism. Asem bo ni ho adanse a asem kro no a yetimi twabi e de adanse enti ye ba mu no then we realize over kaya gold price you too so sembo to America no afa Goldfields be hu say it's still economically viable to stay around or per additional new lease renewal na say abrabo mu no mere mu odin ni ehunu adofo gold buonya no wo ye suni ba bi echese wo ko okrum ene de ekosoro de ayesan fama ye nu ntimi ndi dwabio abai no abaje e de form transition team abai microphone Goldfields microphone ye de share on the 18th of April say in 1 year time you must have done with all necessary preparation mo hande mine no back to mine no and the 11th hwie be now so edi enim no na kwasi buro ni sisa no nkuku ene ne nkaka afiri ho etina no ada minerals commission on the 19th of March basically just about a month to the expiration of the transition date no actually krata we the bre mi ura makofi buase minister da mama no nyame ya adomo a 18th ya na chese ekona wie ye pese ka o ma yetumi na invoke LI 2176, that is the Mining and Licensing Regulation 2012. Na ye go through competitive tender process. Na ye pay obi a kwasi broni kwe obi si na nine. Akoko adansi nti. Yekum so nkuru nso a na ye hwia hwe.
19th March 2026.
Good.
The Honorable Minister, Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Ministry Sakra, or say, dear sir, recommendation for the conduct of tender for the grant of the diamond mining lease. Also the diamond mining lease held by Aboasu Goldfields Limited, a subsidiary of Goldfields Limited, expires on 18th April 2026. With the deadline approaching, prompt action is needed to ensure operational continuity project jobs,
protect jobs,
operational continuity, protect jobs, maintain service contracts, and reassure stakeholders about the mine's future.
Good. I don't know project continuity, protect jobs, reassure service contractors, and stakeholders about the future of the mine.
Okay. So, Osheha was say, in line with Minerals and Mining Licensing Regulation 2012 LI 2176, specifically Regulation 2581A, 2581C, and Wabubo Bomrana was the Minerals Commission hereby advises and recommends that the new mining lease for the diamond mine be granted through a tender process. Okay, so Isaac Tandon, SIW, acting chief.
85 days time. Okay. One day later, by 5 days time, ministers here in consultation, penny for Kasai, and all the response will come out Minerals Commission.
Okay, so reference to the recommendation for the conduct of tender for the grant of the diamond mining lease. Also, I refer to your letter with reference number RL220 dated 19th March 2026, in which you advised and recommended that I exercise my statutory authority under Section 5.1 of Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, to grant the new diamond mining lease through a tender process in accordance with the Minerals and Mining Regulations 2012. Also, you further noted that the current diamond mine lease held by Aboasu Goldfields Limited, a subsidiary of Goldfields Limited, expires on 18th April 2026. In line of this impending expiration, you underscored the need for timely governmental action to ensure operational continuity, safeguard employment, maintain existing service contracts, and provide assurance to stakeholders regarding the future of the mine. Having considered your recommendation, I hereby grant approval and direct the Minerals Commission to immediately commence the requisite processes for conducting the tender. Okay, right. Anti Emmanuel Makofibua, MP, Minister.
Right. Sign.
I was at that Facebook.
Fantastic.
So you can watch it.
Recommendation response will be. I know the criteria we buy and things. Ghana free. Mahama Minerals Commission for quite competitive tender. We didn't participate.
Okay.
Kari who say who dey betimi akogye da mama no siwa manafa no to papa fra won so kode ko be.
So this was a press release
on the same day.
On the same day, yeah. This is the 24th. We see 24th March 2026.
That same day, this is the tender guide.
Okay.
This was published on Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources website.
Everything about Facebook all the documents na so it was giving public notice. Say mine
and it was widely published. Me no credit
Yeah.
You publishing this one on the ministry's website and Minerals Commission website.
Okay.
So what is a KNWC announce say for students admission? You need just that information. But to how the process to apply the things also KNWC website. Yes, and it's all clients of the Minerals Commission and the Ministry of Lands knows where to get official documents as far as bidding or tender is of concern. Where you have found could be office no akaso kwere no corner see
right.
Public document in the public domain.
Yeah.
Okay. And
you said you be no more can say companies or mobile no cry no. Lands Ministry no any omo kasa dada be 9 on beka ho no. Said you be can we chase omo sheda frɛ from be shame na omo na Ibrahim Mahama de no. Be pray yes and so omo mo mfin so no frɛ from no. There's a press release and no more flow which is here.
A group hanom no utwa ntro na service you can say huna processing cho.
Right.
Nipa okasa one fan character bia media dance no aka fa no ho adi.
Okay.
Tete no anka na nanu ba me ya chewa to table so atwa chimpre. So na de esika me ka biti. Nti don't for them but ye ntie won ka no wa ye mani twam wa.
Okay.
Enti 7 days near be to her. I've heard the people make the argument. And then 7 days a pair. LI 2176 now. Equal truth and competitive tender. There is nowhere stipulated say who quiet tender date say and I'm saying na fatoso. So the
but
date.
But you 7 days in
7 days in Nisha. Nipa do say na be there. Let's assume say time nusa. Every day be akokwa nipa ba akoko company ba akokra na ebe di akokwa 7 days nka how many companies should we expect What I say. Again, the 7-day no I quote Chusu was guided by the continuity issue I raised here on the 18th of April.
Right.
And you come out 2 months now, Baba, Ube tender you leave people's job hanging. That's why you move to the mind and say, Masa, Obi Uncle Fio, Yenya successor, Timunko Fio to see a Bejan successor. Near Kuroma Kudana Kukwa, Nipani be per Juma Yenya, and Jaden or more money be near Herman. Say, if you 7 days now, company 4, Vortex, Maripoma Mining Services, Heave Gold Fields, and engineers and planners. Now, Midikaka say, Obi Bia or Kobe Bino might have read this document and agrees that this will be the rules of the game.
Okay. Heave company, Dr.
Kwabena
company. No?
That's right.
Oh, no, so bad.
Oh, Babi.
Oh, okay.
But what I say?
Okay.
Yeah, valuation criteria means a mandatory requirement.
Right.
Mandatory requirement in the company no what they ban. I was say a wholly owned Ghanaian company.
Okay.
It is Akukwa Mining Services. I was Akukwa Ghana ni una ye kofar bae. Ebi our director Eugene Jeff no ne me bra Penny Bernard no ma. Also mu nyina ye Ghana for.
Okay.
U shareholders ye bi anana jantwa. O say o ye Ghana ni. U beneficial owners ye Robert Dambo ne Upomaya. Also mu so ye Ghana for.
Yes, for local everything
mining and minerals. When we say wholly owned Ghanaian, this is what we mean.
And he said,
No. Because we are doing what we call local content. And we say we're looking for indigenous Ghanaian business to take over.
Right.
ATS, I know the Uhiana say, what do directors or shareholders near you know, data, but near is only a Ghana for no Ghana.
There's already no go fields here. Disqualified.
That one just one count. Yeah, you are gross. I come in your pap. I offered you one count.
Because that actually almost was happening.
That would have see also a penny. See, I'm fat. You didn't need that. Because soon, baby, you're done at the children. And say, no person yet.
Okay.
Enti Maripoma and a Vortex. O man to me, I'm fat dance. Dear baby, I'm match. They say mandatory requirement. We almost satisfied. To only the one no mummy in your day.
Okay.
And Rebecca Heave and engineers and planners.
Right.
Now the soul and heart of every mind is based on your technical competences.
Okay.
Technical evaluation criteria no deliberately a year honum said threshold near 80%.
Okay.
And you say Obia didn't you're breaking it down. For instance, your application information is 10 marks.
Okay.
Or specific experience in similar project and environment, 40 marks. Mami screenshot to even the tender committee report. Baby, I said our score will be on.
I mean, we're getting some revealing information, sir.
But what I say? So, woman, Misa, and Katiabusa, Sonia Grodo. Woman, Bisa.
It's nice. Me here document. Full document, no.
Me send my Jeff one.
For my Jeff. Jeff, ma send it a
Jeff.
They make snap here now. Everything about Facebook, we showing no maybe bring the cum. Or how the ministry went about it. I mean, tender processes now. Ekumu baby, actually, I can't want them, but
we might not understand applicant information.
Right.
Yeah, I know the interrogator who say.
Yeah,
we are mining company now. We are Katia Bogan. Yes, we are miner now. Do so krataba. But because Heave and engineers and planners are both mining companies, you could see so when you now tender committee in score considerable marks. Engineers and planners got 10 out of 10. Heave Growth has got 8.2 out of 10.
Wow.
Or share specific experience in similar project and environment. Project in here. What type of project? A open pit mining.
Yeah.
Environment in here that mine. You must know, say, in terms of specific project experience, since 2017, engineers and planners was the sole mining contractor for goldfields at that mine.
To a technical and general experience, and also a specific experience in 40 marks.
40 marks.
Wow.
And that section, since 2017. Engineers and planners in the mining hall as the mining contractor for goldfields.
Yeah.
So for about 10 years, on the mining, probably experience was a human experience
wise, no. Okay.
since 2002 President Kufuor pencil and of course after no onye mining contractor no or other in other capacity whole engineer day. So in terms of the socio-cultural dynamics of the area, understanding the environment, between the two companies, why now feel so experience? Obi Oko 2002, Obi Aonyanko, why no experience? So you could see, say, in terms of scoring, tender committee number EMP 38.6,
right,
and HEAF 18.4.
Yes, we're beating a gram.
Oh, just I mean, the American crowd so the dancers all experience. If you know, he went to me and make it the 80% mark threshold at the technical evaluation.
That's the four companies.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, it was just incorporated about 3 years ago. Baby, or no credible doing to born home because as such a young company, I went to me and make it that progressive milestone was good.
What about the others?
P2 no P2 no because they couldn't meet the friends mandatory requirement.
Okay.
It's not meaning the last phase of the evaluation, financial evaluation, EMP in Kwana qualify for the last stage.
That's from $600 million to $1 billion.
And once you don't qualify for the last stage, we don't even ask you about your finances.
Okay.
But what I say, so unyen pass on off deck and call university, I won't go train university exams. You could be engineers and planners say, oh, $500 million or what you may be wishing.
And you win no more ticket, no.
Exactly. That be Uncle Slow.
Max no was raw.
So these are the two companies.
Okay, we
so these are
the max.
Uncle say scores.
Screw, baby, they almost score, you know.
Uncle this side, Kakra.
Ntebusu aba Facebook abehu how almost score we as Ibrahim Mahama company ni win here.
The marks are on the right side.
Okay. And the marks in the better how the companies fared in process.
Alright, Ibrahim Mahama. Ajuma obeji o say worth $500 million how do be shame.
Okay.
Na timi okay, me nkrata ni adanse echese music. Ye calculate na $500 million no grano. Offer the egu etire be say han totally. Papa no work capacity. Committee in so in terms of 100%, omo rating 93.15%.
You see when they qualify.
And omo they per the law, they send their report to the Minerals Commission.
Right.
Minerals Commission will now summarize it in terms of the recommendation and transmit it to the minister. Minister will have to uphold it or not. Minister successfully have upheld the outcome of the tender. And no crime, let's say the Amawura Ibrahim Mahama. He has only been recommended.
Okay.
It's Minister directed Minerals Commission said trigger all the regulatory actions. Only in sign agreement. Who we have agreement in the bra? Yeah, the local cabinet approve here and send the parliament for ratification.
Okay, so engineers and planners the end down. Evaluation, no financial proposal.
That's right, 505.
Wow. Okay.
500 Dutch in Akukwazi the mammy new Eugene.
505
500 Dutch
US dollars.
500 Dutch the mammy new Eugene Abrabomu Kosovo Papa.
Yeah. So for now, no. The
say whoever want to talk to this matter and now person stage any contrary evidence. A foot no the Eugene the Amay both political parties.
Sure.
We are taking the nuisance, partisan aspects out of it.
Yeah.
But in terms of challenging the credibility of the process, nipa no ba manfa documenting bra. Oni nkrata ene yenkasasa.
Yeah.
Yenkasa keke.
Oni
nkrata don't come and bastardize the process because even the tender committee and yet based on someone's discretion a constitution of the tender committee. The law says that 3 reps from the Minerals Commission, of whom 2 shall be chairman and secretary respectively. Chairman of the committee was Deputy CEO of Minerals Commission in charge of small-scale mining.
Right.
Secretary was the Legal Affairs Director of the Minerals Commission. And a member, a legal title.
Okay.
Yes, for GJ Penimra, for EPA Penimra, and Mame Professor Brown, Nana Kuluchi. And Dr. Akaba Omona Free, Director General of Geological Survey and CEO of EPA.
So
these are people of high academic background and moral standing. They are not walkover people.
Okay.
Into people with contrary evidence here on Fambra rather than say or more and some more Mukaka. My foot to Amedema and say Aliko Dangote didn't get there by accident. It took citizen support.
Okay.
Now no other you call business forum. When him say hotel Yadekoye Jumadi was Rock City Hotel. Why dear?
Brian Champon.
Tiada ni akasi wa bamu Brian Champon NDC ni and to say President Mahama has a chance to rebuild this country.
Right.
And exactly there is certain agenda. Sebi me from where I sit, I know EMP, engineers and planners, omu possesses sa expertise, capacity, vision to drive the Dama miner and then fasopa ebebro my Ghana nyina.
Right.
Enti yenso na sene na no ada na ye Pristia Bogoso. Future global resources for 2023 no msisa omo ne makoye. Honorable Abujina Pojina so de adwuma no share. Ye papa Kobnado for company Heave Goldfields and sir.
Yeah.
And then through strategic investment, he has poured the first gold ewo Bogoso. In February. Yes.
Wow.
We're investing about $40 million. Just 3 days ago, he signed additional a year capital injection of about $65 million.
Wow.
SMB Ghana economy. It has even an upper cap. A bit my stand here could see $2.1 billion.
Wow. That's a huge
Ghana Neo. Ashanti Media this year. And this is what President Mahama means for local content. Say yeah more. Now you build the indigenous, say the Eugene kind. The surest way to build your country is to privatize your economy. And the best privatization strategy is to get indigenous business thriving.
True.
And then HIF is doing so well, and we must support HIF to get to maybe other companies do. The same way we are clotting for support for engineers and planners.
Yeah.
Now no me wo subrisu. Tepa.
Yeah.
Apparently there's
FJ
minerals.
Community why is it
previous
happening
administration eco launched community mining without recourse or even engagement with the concession owner.
Dina me surprise Timon lands and minerals mo intimi anya ho like mo engage community mo anya they have to demonstrate
Mekudu kasore ya no call subrisu mfranti no call anti cooperative. There's no document, even the local assembly there is no document about our community mining, and that is, and it's not just there; it's at so many places
without stakeholder engagement.
Not just stakeholder, without doing the due process. Because before the assassin, you might have done what we call legal search to ascertain say assassin you obedient. Say is pinti assassin now. That is why now no minister. Small scale mining licenses be na asem wo ho or revoke no or the community mining ni na aka ho ne revoke here.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of issues. But in Sri Lanka, FJ Minerals is a very progressive minded company. They have make it a point, say, community be or more operation woman, they will live in harmony with the community people. And meaning say, Yakoha could take community nasem. Penifo minister and FJ resources didn't come on. In the coming week, community representatives there will be a meeting. Meaning say the baby for the by a minister a timid solve a problem. Sani be solve
because
situation
I was
minister any FJ in Penifo a 200 Baba Minka say we must support our own. Sure. And people like FJ Minerals, we must go all out because it's a Ghanaian company.
Yeah,
we must go all out to support them to get to the height.
That's fair. Ube free Kumasi da ben. What do you know ambition that is saying? Still now pay and I
by the can go need that to buy me meeting.
I wouldn't meeting.
Although briefly. But
okay. Yeah.
I mean, we've had that love and support.
Okay.
Yes, say Sabio, it is not over until it is over.
Okay.
We are buffer because unim say when you bet until the electionary period comes and you are going to, but I know the service mami kwan mami mesumo e this ready
communication
atase mami kwan na mesumo ya this ready nti ye obakwa akosre and I know say juma asumpa ya suma
asante what can say you adi kra wa church mu kama pa
say you free
documents and then you come with documents
nti mi so obi aba no amfa nkrata ma odie ya pon kura no e bejini de dua amebeje
Muhammad Kabore no and otin nka no minister lands and natural resources the aid no na ene wama ye briefing spokesperson ti wama ye briefing on issues ekoso ewo EMPD and ada FG minerals ote and also demonstrations ekoso na krumo for empreni ade ahwani nyina ho and so for Kabore na me adoma me say here later and me wo some informations on Galamsey and other things I'm a pese no
that's right
but
that's right
Breno ekwo kakra
sure
ese me say di juma binti no echi memo asamba na yahwe eho no so because Ankobra ne other areas I have a lot of questions to ask particularly yebedin komobium Bedase, Mahmoud Kabore, and out in Kano, Lands and Natural Resources Minister spokesperson, and wama briefing on all what is happening through the tender processes. Of course, Ibiana want yes, how Ekoba and yes, what Tamamano adeno, watch it how it went in the companies on me pray. We wanted to understand. Nina said the processes and documentations that are backing them. In fact, wama